Yo guys, I'm looking into back again with another video, and today guys we're going to be doing a movie review of Godzillaxkong, the new empire. Now, I've just come back yesterday from seeing the movie twice. The first time I saw it was opening day, March 29th, but the problem was, we've seen it on that day, I missed like a good 25 minutes of the film because we came in so late, the queues was massive, and we couldn't even get into the film. So I missed a good 25 minutes. So I was thinking, I can't really do a movie review if I missed the first 25 minutes of the film. So I went back, I watched it yesterday again for the second time, and I realised I actually missed quite a lot of the film. So when I was watching it the first time, I was like, you know, kind of all over the place. I was like missing a few bits here and there of the story. But when seeing it yesterday, it was easier to make sense of everything now. Absolutely love this film. It just starts off with Kong. As basically the main character, the protagonist of this film is Kong. And I love this film because of how much screen time. The monsters have the most screen time in the film. Like the humans are kind of like the secondary characters. Well, the first time I watched it, it felt like they were barely in it at all. But the second time I watched it, the humans are kind of more in it because in the first like 25 minutes, they're in it a little bit more. But I did miss like the opening scene with Kong fighting those freaking dogs. Godzilla's fight with the crab. Is it Scylla or something like that? But that was pretty sick. I think Godzilla vs. Kong, the first one, I feel like the story and the build-up for that one was kind of better than this film. The story and build-up with that one was great, and the payoff was amazing. With this one, I feel like, yo, they're already together. We've seen them fight before. But this was just really about Kong, really, and his like whole territory, finding like more of his kind and shit, and really being the King Kong that we know he is. He's a beast. Like, I'm a Team Kong fan. Just seeing him throw down, and there were so many surprises and jump scares in this that I didn't even see coming. Monsters I didn't know they were fighting. As you keep going along, there's some really nice fights in there that I didn't really expect to see. Like every 5 minutes you're getting another fight with the Titans, and it was just so good. Like, it was just such an elevating, like exhilarating film. It was like, oh man, it was like a roller coaster that just doesn't stop. It just boom, 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 action, action, action. I will say a couple of human parts here and there was kind of boring. But I like this so much better than the other ones just because there's less human parts compared to the other films. There's only like 4 human characters, and we just cut to them, and then we cut back to a monster, then we cut back to monsters, then it's humans bit again. So it was really nice. Like I said, you get stuff that I never saw coming. My guy getting eaten by a tree. Bro, that jump scare was crazy. Didn't even see that coming. The pilot just, boom, eaten by a tree. Dead. And a fight that I never saw coming. Kong versus the sea serpent thing. That sea serpent was so cool. So cool. I just like, that fight was awesome. It was at the start, basically, Zuko was an op. He was an op. He was betraying Kong. He was trying to get this man killed by a sea serpent. And that was such a sick fight. Never in the trailers, nothing like that. And I saw it, I was like, yo, that was so cool. Another sick fight. Godzilla versus this friggin', I don't know what they called it. Tiamat or something. It's pink energy, which Godzilla wants to kill Tiamat, so then he can get the pink powers and shit to get pink evolve and that. And that fight underwater was so cool. I had no idea that was going to happen, and that fight was so sick. Like, there's certain fights that I didn't have any clue, and it was so good to see because obviously they didn't show nothing in the trailers and that. And the fight with like Kong versus his own kind, like at the beginning when he got jumped, when the first time he met Zuko, that fight was one of my favourite fights, I can't lie. How he just used Zuko, just slamming around like freaking Hulk and Loki, just battering them, all of them. That was so good. That fight was hilarious. Just him using Zuko as like a ragdoll, bro. It was hilarious. I love what they did with him. Kong was just a beast throughout, man. His fighting, I mean, he took that freaking rock at that one guy. That one guy kept coming back every time. That massive snitch. Freaking bold ass head as well. Kong was freaking a beast from start to finish. From start to finish, he was a beast. The fight with Scar King versus Kong, the first time they met, was crazy. Like, they were just full on scrapping, and Kong got his ass kicked basically. And then Shimo was an absolute beast in this. She was massive, absolute massive. Froze Kong's arm. His arm was gone, bro. And then that's why he gets the freaking beast glove, Infinity Gauntlet, to save the day, and then he uppercuts Godzilla with, bro, I'm just saying, the fighting, bro, was non-stop. It was just so good. So much like carnage, basically. And monster action is what I'm there to see. Monsters fighting. And Mothra coming out of nowhere. I even forgot Mothra was going to be in this, and then she came out of nowhere, saving the day from Godzilla and Kong fighting, bro. The best part of the whole film was Godzilla and Kong's fight. The rematch, when Kong was going bang, 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 bang. Look, I'm Team Kong, yeah, and I have my boys, they're Team Godzilla. We're just shouting at each other like, yo, Kong just beat his ass. And then he's like, Godzilla just beat his ass. I'm like, no, look at this, he's getting dragged, bro. Kong's dragging him, bro. Oh man, I loved it. I say Kong won that fight still, you know. Like, look, Godzilla versus Kong. Godzilla got dropped, knocked out, yeah. Kong didn't get knocked out in that fight. So basically, I'm saying Kong won that fight. Yo, Mothra came in at the end, you know, saved Kong. But look, Kong was still awake. Maybe he could have got out of that atomic breath or something. Who knows? You know, he might have bob and weaving. He's a boxer. Boom. You never know. He could have got out of that, I reckon. But anyways, that fight was the best part of the whole film. Godzilla was doing freaking RKO on him or something. I don't even know what was going on. But that was amazing. Loved that fight. Best fight of the film. And then the end fight was insane as well. Freaking anti-gravity mode. They're fighting in the air. You got Scar King, Shimo, Godzilla, Kong, all going out at the 4 Titans. It's just monster mayhem. I was jumping out my seat, going insane the whole time watching it. Both times. It was just so good to see on the big screen. Just monsters fighting. Another thing I'm going to say is Mothra wasn't really doing much, man. I feel like Mothra could have fought Scar King and Shimo. She didn't really do anything to them two. She was just doing it to the other like monkey minions from Scar King. She was really fighting them. She wasn't like doing too much in the final battle, and she didn't even come in at the end either. Like she was only there for the anti-gravity fight, and then she didn't come to Brazil. She didn't go to Brazil, so she wasn't really there. So it was basically a 2v2. Then I wish we got like the scene, you know, from Mecha's Godzilla and Godzilla doing the blasting of the both of the lasers just going boom. I wish we'd have seen the same thing with Godzilla's atomic breath versus Shimo's ice. I would have loved to see what happens when those two beams just clash. That would have looked so cool. But we didn't get to see that. We just kind of seen them grappling and chucking into buildings. And bro, the fights was so good, bro. Kong was getting double teamed at one point. Like Scar King and Shimo were like freaking throwing him around. And he was getting battered, and Godzilla had to come in and like save his ass. And then, bro, it was just so good, bro. It was so good. Like them two fighting, tag team moves, chucking him, tail whip, bro. They had some WWE shit going on, and it was just so fire. That whole final act, the straight fighting was beautiful. And like, you don't even need a massive story, bro. The story's simple. Like, you understand what's going on. Godzilla's just roaming around, getting supercharged, and Kong's just trying to, you know, fight Scar King, and you know he needs help fighting him. Godzilla comes down and helps fighting him, and boom, saves the day. And Kong's just trying to live in Hollow Earth, and he's the new king at the end of the film. And yeah, I think it was an amazing film. I give this film a 10 out of 10. All right, 10 out of 10. There is no frigging post-credit scene though. There was a scene though where, you know, when they're trying to look for Mothra, and they say Godzilla ate a star. Godzilla ate a star. That sounds like Space Godzilla, if I'm not correct. Is Space Godzilla going to be in the next one? Who knows? But there was no post-credit scene, which I'm kind of like, what the hell? They've got to make another one out of this. This one already, the first weekend, 200 million box office. Bro, it's going to smash the box office, I'm telling you right now. So, they need to make a new one. I don't think we need another Kong solo film because, like, Godzilla X Kong and Godzilla vs. Kong, they're both very centered around Kong anyways. So what you can do is just make a Godzilla solo film and then make another Godzilla and Kong team-up movie versus Destroyer. Bro, we need to see Destroyer. Destroyer is sick. Cannot wait, but that's got to be the end game type thing. They've got to do Space Godzilla versus Godzilla next or some shit. And, you know, get Ghidorah back in, man. I love Ghidorah. They have to do Monarch Legacy of the Monsters too with Ghidorah as one of the main kaijus in it. I feel like that would be so cool. Ghidorah versus Shimo. I want to see that fight so bad. Ghidorah versus Shimo. Shimo wins, and that's why Ghidorah is in the Ice Age in King of the Monsters. Bro, that has to happen, okay? There's so many sick fights, but I love this. I love this movie from beginning to end. Non-stop action throughout. So good. So good. Highly recommend this film. 10 out of 10. Badass. Had to watch it twice because it was that good. And yeah, this is the end of this video, guys. Like, comment, subscribe. See you guys next time. Peace. Bang.